Welcome to the program. There was drama in Iten town in Elgeyo Marakwet County yesterday after the members of the county assembly stormed the office of Area County Commissioner demanding his immediate removal.
Here's more on that report.
They took to the streets of Iten town, Elgeyo Marakwet County. Members of the county assembly and the residents waved placards and twigs, storming the county commissioner's office, demanding for his immediate removal.
Otieno must move away. Otieno must move away. He must put us through the forest. This is our stand. Havoc to us. So we don't want that one. This is our stand.
There was confrontation between the MCAs and the administration police officers who were manning the commissioner's office after the MCAs threatened to lock the office and keep the officer at bay.
Kitu nimesema, the county commissioner is not in. Mambo, okay, bas kama mnataka ya kuje. So can you be patient? Hivo, just like that. And then
we are okay. However, the MCAs could not access the office as their efforts to lock it were thwarted by the administration police. They then issued a 7-day ultimatum to the administrator to vacate the office.
Mpaka ikafika wakati niliita akuja kwa council meeting akakataa. Nikaamua tuende na madiwani na yeye na hata people kupika chief tulun. Akasema siingi kwa hii msudi yenu hata naona kama madiwani wako ndani.
They were later addressed by KO North Sub-County Deputy Commissioner Moses Lilan.
Some of these issues you are putting across, kwangu mimi nataka tu niseme mumesema kama viongozi, na nafikiri uamuzi ya ile kazi sisi tunafanya kawaida, there is the appointing authority ambayo watasema jinsi ambavyo watasema.
The MCAs called for the return of the former county commissioner Arthur Osia, who was recently transferred. Masi Kandia, KTN, Iten, Elgeyo Marakwet County.
From Elgeyo Marakwet County, we move to other county news in Isiolo, where the County Assembly Speaker Mohammed Tubi has been warned by members of the County Assembly, whom he accuses of failing to turn up for several assembly sessions for the last month. Rather, he's warned them that they risk losing their jobs. He said that according to the House standing orders, if any member of the County Assembly is absent for 8 sittings in a session without permission in writing from the Assembly Speaker, then the Speaker shall take action by reporting the matter to for disciplinary action. Tubi said that devolution in Isiolo is under serious threat because members of the County Assembly are not taking their responsibilities seriously.
Kama kuna wale wamefikisha siku 8 kutoka Januari, kutoka tarehe 11 mwezi wa pili ambayo tulifungua session hii kikao ya mwaka huu, then nafikiri hawana bahati.
Still on matters devolution, Machakos Governor Dr. Alfred Mutua claims there is an orchestrated campaign to tarnish his development record and slow down his Machakos Maendeleo Chap-Chap program. Mutua has once again accused Machakos Senator Johnston Muthama of fighting his development projects. The governor is also blaming Muthama for the new probe, which he says the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has launched into the purchase of vehicles for Machakos County.
Was reliably informed by an employee of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission that they had been tasked to find fault, and I quote, to bring Mutua down in whatever way possible. The complainant to EACC was no other than Machakos Senator Johnston Muthama, who, as you know, we don't see eye to eye politically, and he seems to have been receiving backing from within the echelons of EACC. These are just a few of about 7 incidences that appear to be well synchronized and emanating from a single control room. Their timing, all happening in succession, are suspect. What is shocking is that agencies that are meant to protect and to be neutral and non-biased are being the ones being used in what is clearly a political witch hunt campaign.
From county politics, let's have a look at what's happening with regard to agriculture. And following the government's latest move to import 200,000 metric tons of maize to help lower the cost of maize flour, the issue of green revolution in sub-Saharan Africa has come to the fore.
The Green Revolution, which transformed Asia and Latin America's agriculture in the 70s, never came to the region. Today is the only region in the world where per capita food production has steadily declined over the last 35 years.
Now, experts are working on reversing this situation. Here's a look at the story.
Despite the landscape's lush appearance, food is a constant concern in this part of Western Kenya. Anochino owns 10 acres of land on which she grows maize, cabbage, and sugarcane. But it's only recently that she's been able to produce enough to feed her family.
Before I used to buy maize, but now I'm not buying because I'm producing more.
What has changed is that Otieno now has access to high-yield seeds and fertilizers on credit, one of the cornerstones of a program launched by AGRA, the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa. The organization also promotes crop breeding, soil management, irrigation, and agricultural education. But its goal is not only to ensure Africa's food security.
There is absolutely no reason why Africa cannot become a breadbasket to feed the rest of the world. We have the land, we have entrepreneurial farmers, but we have not supported them.
Critics warn that AGRA's program might make small-scale farmers dependent on costly input they cannot afford. But on the ground, the results seem to speak for themselves.
Before we used to harvest only 3 bags, and now we are now getting a lot, around 20 bags and over.
Higher yields mean that part of the harvest can be either sold or saved for later, a crucial step in enabling African farmers to break the cycle of poverty and become fully self-sufficient.
Back on a county road trip and now in Nakuru, where a high school student in that area, exactly in Molo, was lynched by agitated residents on suspicion that he was behind the murder of 3 schoolgirls. As KTN's Kamcha Menza reports, a mob cornered the suspect near the spot where they have been finding the bodies of the murder victims.
Early Wednesday morning, residents of Molo flocked Molo Riverside. Right there by the river, a young man alleged to have been involved in the recent murders of school children in the area had been descended upon by a mob. The mob killed the schoolboy and burnt his body. The residents say they were angered by the disappearance and murder of 3 girls in less than a month. Their bodies found dumped by this same river, and so they decided to set a trap and caught the suspect.
Watu wakiwa wanatembea humuhumu wakapata ya kwamba kuna mahala ambapo nguo zimevuliwa na ilikuwa masaa ya usiku. Kwa hivyo wakawa wako na haja sana ya kujua ni jinsi gani ambavyo mtu amevua nguo usiku, sawa wakahitaji kujua ni nani huyo aliyefanya kile kitendo. Kwa hivyo wakawa wako on guard, na kwa hivyo in the morning wakakuja kurealize yule ambaye alikuwa amevua zile nguo.
Witnesses say the mob tried to question the young man on what he was doing at the river so early in the morning, but he tried to escape. They say they found questionable items in his bag, and so they decided to lynch him.
Tunashuku ya kwamba especially pilipili iliyosiagwa. Wakati ambapo tumepeleleza kusikia jambo ambalo lilikuwa linatendeka kwa hawa wasichana, ni ya kwamba walikuwa wanafunikwa na kitambaa. Kwa hivyo tuna suspect ya kwamba hii pilipili ni ambayo ilikuwa inawekwa kwa kitambaa, kuongezea sabuni, alafu wakati ambapo unafunikiwa nayo hauwezi ukaona.
At Tayari and Kapsita villages, bereaved families of 2 Form 1 students whose mutilated bodies were found dumped by the riverside are still grieving.
Hapo tu mtoni wakati pale alifukia, pale palikuwa njia ya kwenda shule. Ndio wakamtafuta tu hapo, wakumtafuta masaa nyingi. Ndio wakampata ametupwa kwa majani ndani.
One of the students is said to have been a victim a few minutes after her colleagues crossed the river, leaving her behind.
Sasa sisi wasasi hatungechua kama huyu mtoto alifika shule ama hakufika. Kenye kilifanya tukachua huyu mwenzake akakuja kitu kama saa 11:30. Kamuuliza, uliwacha mwenzako wapi? Akaniambia hakumuona shule.
Another murder victim whose body was discovered at the forest near the river last month was Class 8 pupil Hodlin Murara, and her family too is still trying to come to terms with her death. But even after the lynching of the suspect this early morning, the family of Hodlin Morara says that they are not satisfied with the response they got from the police even after reporting the matter, and no wants proper investigations to be conducted. The Molo Deputy County Commissioner Julius Kavita, who among other security agents arrived after the suspect had been lynched, said that the Form 4 student could have been hiding in this cave after being on and off school since January.
It could have been better if the security organs found him live, because we could have known further details.
He, however, dismissed allegations of police laxity in the area. Kamche Menza, KTN from Nakuru County.
The next story is not one we hear about every day. We're talking about monkey business, where a farmer in Nyeri County is on the verge of losing his cedar tree plantation after monkeys from the nearby Aberdare forest invaded his farm, destroying cedar trees which he says are worth millions. Titus Mudhoin Dirango from Magoyoine village in Tetu now wants the Kenya Wildlife Service to intervene as he has been unable to fight off the monkeys at night. The monkeys have been feeding off the barks of the cedar trees, and the farmer risks losing more than 500 trees which could dry up after the monkeys stepped them bare. The sale of the cedar trees has been his main income-generating activity since his retirement from the civil service, and his neighbors also say that they're puzzled by the behavior of the animals which usually eat bananas or maize.
Hii wanyama wa mtuni na monkeys waliingia wakaanza kutoa ile gozi yake, wanaanza juu mpaka chini, na ingine ile walikula imeanza kukauka. Sasa ni imekauka. Sasa wakati wiki iliyopita ilikuwa Alhamisi asubuhi, ndio walikuja kwa wigi wakaanza kutoa hii back karibu na nyumba homestead, na nilipiga simu huko kwa KWS Moiga, wakaniambia watanijulisha.
All right. That particular village is called Magoyoine. I wonder what that means.
Magoyoine. I don't know what it means either. But those are monkeys with very expensive taste. Cedar trees are very expensive. Yeah. All right, well, we take a short commercial break from the monkey business. Good place to take a break. When we come back...
Right, when we come back, we'll talk about societies. Everyone has a circle. You're a member somewhere, you have a loan somewhere. We'll talk about the alliance of circles and what they're doing.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Welcome back. You're watching KTN Newsdesk. If you're seated on this side of the studio, you know we're having afternoon business chat. And today we want to talk about circles. I bet you're in a circle. We are all in circles. You've borrowed from circles. It is becoming the preferred lending mode for Kenyans who are trying to develop or just improve their lives. But these circles have a body that speaks for them. I'm talking about the Cooperatives Alliance of Kenya, and the CEO, Daniel Marube, joins me now to just help us understand exactly what they've been doing. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Bwana Marube, circles have become such an important part of Kenyans' life. And obviously there's a need for regulation. We all know there's regulation, but also there's a need to defend their interest. Right. What exactly is the mandate of your body?
Thank you very much. Cooperative Alliance of Kenya is the apex organization that helps the development and the growth of the cooperative movement in this country.
Right.
We are a non-governmental organization, and our key mandate is to ensure that we have an environment, a regulatory framework that enables the cooperative societies to grow.
So for example, for the benefit of our viewers, what are these issues that you've been advocating on behalf of the circles?
Yeah, thank you very much. We've been advocating, for example, to have the laws and the regulations that are not punitive. For example, we need to have harmonized regulatory framework for both the central government and the county government in view of the new dispensation. So we need to have regulations, the framework that is not going to split the cooperative movement into 47 units, but to bring us together as a country, as a movement, so that we are able to have one voice.
Right. Daniel, what are some of the challenges that your members are facing currently, obviously in respect to devolution and in respect to the new regulations, especially now that they're handling deposits?
Yeah, thank you very much. As you know, in this country at the moment, we have over 15,000 cooperative societies.
Right.
From primary, national unions, and to the national organizations. Out of this, we have 6,000 SACCOs that are offering front office services, banking services to its members. Now, 4,000 of them are taking deposits and lending the same deposits to their members, serving more than 5 million people who are dependent on them for the banking services. We do know then that we have more than 300 billion shillings in the movement in terms of deposits. And because of that large sums, the government took an intervention. Remember, there was pyramid schemes and all that? The government took a quick step to find out how can we prevent such an amount of money not to go to
and there was a regulation to improve your back office.
So in the last 4 years, there was the regulation, the SACCO Regulatory Authority came into place with a sole purpose to ensure that we are safeguarding the 300 billion shillings, which has come from more than 14 million members. And therefore they came to being to regulate, to ensure that all systems are in place and therefore the money is safe. The deadline for the SACCOs who are taking deposits from the public to comply to have a capital base of 10 million has just elapsed this month. But we do know that not all SACCOs were able to meet that regulation. So as CAK, we have appealed and said, even before the regulations came in, the cooperative movement has been flourishing and growing. The regulations came just the other day. And instead of closing the societies, the CAK has appealed to SASRA and the minister concerned that we push ahead, extend the period for 1 more year.
And some of this, the reasons why some SACCOs cannot meet this deadline is not because it's beyond them. So they obviously need a bit of capacity from elsewhere.
Yes, what it means is, it's like I wear a shirt number 17, you are wearing a shirt number 14.
15 and a half.
To be precise. Now, when the regulations came, it was just a single blanket. They said every cooperative society must meet this. So what we are saying is that every cooperative society has grown with the time. So every society should be given its time to grow organically, slowly, to be the giant. So all of us cannot be given the same regulation. So we are appealing that regulations to ensure that we have tiers. So every cooperative society should have its own limit. So that instead of...
So you ensure that they have a favorable environment in which to operate.
Exactly.
Bwana Marube, there is the Ushirika Day that is coming this Saturday. What's that about?
Well done. Now, this will be the 92nd celebration we're having. Ushirika Day is an international day when cooperators worldwide meet to celebrate their achievements. Kenya is not an exception. So this Saturday, all the cooperators countrywide in the counties, and in Nairobi we'll be meeting at the grounds of KICC, but in the counties, at the headquarters of every county, the cooperators will be gathering, just to review their successes in the last 1 year. Yes.
And the president will be officiating?
Yes, in Nairobi at the KICC, we are anticipating that our president will be with us that morning.
But also in the counties, all in their smaller outfits, they will be holding this celebration.
Yes, in every county, the governors, most of the governors will be officiating the celebrations.
All right.
Yes.
Great. Daniel Marube, it is that would be a good place to end this conversation, but thank you for highlighting what exactly your body is doing and just getting people to understand, and especially cooperators out there, that there is a body that is looking out for their interests. It's called the Cooperatives Alliance of Kenya. I've been speaking to Daniel Marube, who is the CEO. Edith?
Thank you. Well, let's have a look at what people are saying with regard to Saba Saba. Well, it will be a Monday like any other, and workers are expected to report to work. At least that's what the KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli has said. Now, Atwoli says KOTU supports CORD's call for national dialogue, although he insists it should not involve other organizations that have the interest of Kenyans at heart.
And if I was a president today, I would invite Raila like yesterday and tell him, look, you are my boss, you are the prime minister, I was the deputy prime minister in the previous government. You have not given us time of about 2 years or 3 years to gauge us or to see what we are doing. You and me, we will be panelists, and we will let Kenyans come and ask us questions. You and me, you will assist me to answer some of the questions. And Raila will be able to avail himself. Some people will ask him, when you are the prime minister, what happened to ABCD? Now, when you are deputy prime minister, what happened? Now you are on the steering. Where is the country going? Those are simple issues that Kenyans need to debate without creating animosity against one another.